How's it going? It's JD coming to you. Today is Saturday. I can't even remember the date, man. It's what, 4-3? April 3rd, 3 p.m. Central. I'm going to do a quick, well, not a quick one, but I'm going to run through my process. And we're going to look at IBD and kind of go over what the program has been and then kind of how, I know how I come up with themes. Mo has his methods, and we're similar in that fashion. But there are a couple of things I want to touch on. It's like headlines. I want to also touch on sifting through the noise and looking for signal. All right, so this is being recorded, so I'll share it with everybody. If you pop in, you pop in, and then if not, I'll catch you on the rebound. So starting off. All right, Investors Business Daily. This is going to be for the week of April 5th. It normally hits the newsstands on Monday. I go right across the top. Market outlook, confirmed uptrend, know your customer, clubhouse. I'm not really feeling that right. Well, not feeling. I'm not looking for. There's not a stock play in my eyes. Google taking a haircut, possible entry, possible long term uh, opportunity there. And without even looking any further, I'm just looking at the headlines. And guys, the thing is, like off of a headline, if we're trying to invest off of a headline, we have to have a well defined time horizon. It can't be like, oh, I need to get it out next week because we don't know the trend or things like that. But the headline is like one of my starting points. Innovation specialist, bam, ARC, ARC Innovation, Kathy Wood. They just released a new space ETF, space exploration ETF, ARKX, and that's an IPO. So you can expect some volatility or really some stagnation. But perform due diligence, whether we go to Yahoo Finance, things like that, and dig and keep digging. So, okay, here we go. My first on my list, I have a legal pad that I write on, and I just kind of I go through the IBD, self-driving cars. That's the big thing right now for Tesla. That digs into Tesla. Uh, Full self-driving FSD. If you see that acronym anywhere, that stands for full self driving. Tesla, that's one of their potential catalysts in the market. So I'm writing down Tesla, and then I dig a little bit deeper, and I know they beat on their delivery. Their deliveries were well ahead of estimates. So that's a positive catalyst for a short term catalyst, also long term, but right now that's a short term catalyst. So I've written down Tesla beat deliveries, but I know that because I've been looking at the news. This just kind of triggered my thoughts on it. So first page, buy points are in play. Microsoft said a buy point. Think about IBD. They'll also do technicals. Uh, I'm hadn't been really looking at Microsoft right now, but I mean I'm always looking for a long term into Microsoft. And these are some of the FANG, Facebook, Google, uh, Lamb Research broke out. That's a high flyer. Okay, Beer Giants, BAM, Constellation Brand. We go a little further. Key indicators coming up Monday. The Institute for Supply Management releases its Service Sector Activity Index. On Wednesday, the Fed issues minutes. So those are just news points, ideas to think about. Now let's dig a little bit deeper. I just saw a headline that crossed. It said Chuck Schumer, he's pushing for a federal uh, mandate to legalize cannabis, even without President Biden's help. So for Monday and the rest probably of the administration, we got to keep our eyes on the cannabis stocks. Look right here. We have Constellation or Canopy Growth, CGC, and I wrote them down. I wrote a group of them down, but I sent it. Actually, I sent it in the Telegram. But Cannabis Growth, Kronos Group, CRON, Constellation Brands, STC, excuse me, Aurora Cannabis, ACB, uh, Sundial, SNDL, and these are not buy, sell, or hold. These are just they're coming to mind of the different cannabis. And if you have cannabis stocks, if you have different uh, stocks that are on in your bag of in your basket, this is the time to kind of take a look at them. And we'll go to the charts in a little bit. All right, a little bit further down. Okay, manufacturing, I don't really dive into that as much. Okay, COVID deaths, overdose deaths, terrible. Neo Xpeng sales are strong. Okay, overseas EV, I'm not sure about the China situation. We don't get a lot of info, but I do like Neo. Neo's been on a heavy downtrend, but it might, I'm not saying it's a time to buy, but it's a time to watch. We're watching the EV sector, but it's being vetted right now. Uh, okay, stock market rally broadens. We want breadth in the market, BREADTH. We don't want the rally to be kind of relegated to one sector. We want it to, that's a good thing when it broadens. So manufacturing activity. I'm gonna go back to the next thing I caught on the second page was Boeing. I'm trying. There it is, right there. Southwest buys 737 Max jets. Southwest has put in some big time orders. I mean, they bought 100 Max eights and 349 orders already standing. 207. Uh, wow. Okay, guys, hold on. There we go. Lost the connection. I think we're still rolling. All right. Okay. They had right here, down here, it says 349 MAX order, 270 options for MAX 7s or MAX 8 aircraft. That is a bullish sign for Boeing. There still may be some turbulence over the short term, even midterm. But if you're looking at a 5 year window, Boeing is bullish. I'm bullish Boeing for that's why we have to continue to lean on our time horizons because Boeing, you could hop into Boeing, it could take a hiccup. There's a gap fill in the low twos, high 180s, 190s that it could dip into. Not saying it will, but expect volatility and any headwinds that come up with these orders. It's still there may be another shoe to drop, congressional hearings possibly. Next one, Southwest Airlines. If they're spending money like this and they're possibly going to convert on options, I'm thinking they're feeling good about their revenue stream. And the next thing that I looked at, the CDC just released a statement that says if a person is fully vaccinated, they are allowed to travel without restrictions. They won't have to be in any type of quarantine for contact tracing, things like that. So that's a good thing. That bodes well for the summer travel season and the airlines. Not saying that's a buy, sell, or hold, but it's something to consider, something to focus on. PayPal. It now this is one of the things that looks pretty good for PayPal. It's allowing individuals to check out with crypto. I know the purist might say, "Oh, well, they don't give you your private keys, blah blah." Yeah, I know. I'm not saying use PayPal for your crypto investing, but understand that this is a bullish adoption move. It's 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 just the idea of with crypto and mass adoption. That's just another domino down. So it's a positive move. So Visa, Visa's going to tie theirs. They're going to use allow you to use the USD coin. They're going to tie that. That's the stable coin, and you can convert to fiat upon checkout or something in that manner. So that's another domino on the things in the that's been knocked over. Mass adoption is literally coming. I'm going a little further down. Let's go to the infrastructure plays. Cleveland uh, Cliffs, excuse me. President Biden has put that infrastructure play. We're just getting the front, the surface information. Now, I know once that bill is officially passed, people are going to dig into that. But Cleveland Cliffs, guidance is hot. There's a lot of option activity, a lot of volume coming in. This outperformed. The other play was X, which was U.S. Steel, and you know, Mo didn't like U.S. Steel. Well, I say he didn't like it. I wasn't keen on U.S. Steel in comparison to Cleveland Cliffs. We both saw value in Cleveland Cliffs above U.S. Steel. I can't remember the reason, but there was something about the chart. U.S. Steel has actually pulled back. CLF is the play, man. That's for me. That's a long-term buy and hold, and also I'm trading it. So consider that. Do some due diligence on that side of things as well. Let's just click right over here. I'm going to show you a quick what I like to do. If I can get to it, go to CLF on here. I think I'm showing it on my screen. This would be something else if I'm not. Yeah, there we go. This is Investors Business Daily. I subscribe to their service. I like the paper. I like all the information they provide, but I like to roll down here the composite rating without going into details on things like that. It's at between 1 and 100. It's at 90. They're just the composite of all the grading factors that they have. But what I'm looking for, I like to have above a C on the accumulation distribution. That means institutions are putting money into Cleveland Cliffs. Uh, Over the last couple of weeks, man, if I dig deeper, let's go to Yahoo Finance. This is just another one of my, I guess, parts of my process. If I dig in and get a good feel for a particular stock or have a intrigue, I'll dig in and see which institutions are stepping in. And this is a free service right here. Okay, Cleveland Cliffs, and I've shown this before, and if you're used to it, I apologize, but I just wanted to show it again. But I go over to holders. I want to see who's holding this, and okay, insiders 8%, institutional investing 59.9. That's a lot of institutions in there. 400. Well, I say a lot percentage wise. Institutional number of institutions holding shares 456, but the first one on the list, BlackRock, big name. Vanguard, big name. State Street, big name. Citadel, even big. Well, not even bigger, but big name as well. And these are, this is date reported December, so we'll get an update probably maybe 30, 60 days after the next quarterly report to see who's in there. So Cleveland Cliffs is, and that was before the move was up, and the other one was X. Let's see. Let's just go into X in a second. Let's see what X is looking like, and that's U.S. Steel. And a lot of times you want to do a comparison shopping, uh, and do a review because if there's a stock in a certain sector, they can move together, and then sometimes you'll have one that's lagging behind the others. All right, U.S. Steel. Okay, Cleveland Cliffs was a 90. We're at a 71. Not to say it's terrible, but that's out of the two, we're going Cleveland Cliffs. Now the accumulation distribution is an A. B plus for Cleveland Cliffs. So the I'm just kind of looking, and we were just kind of weighing the odds, and Cleveland Cliffs had the it won my vote, and I think the charts were the key. Let's go back to IBD. All right, Cleveland Cliffs. We're still in the infrastructure play. Micron beats. I was in Micron last week. I think Renisha was in Micron as well as West hopped in there and made some positive gains on that. The results were good news. What did I put down? Good news for chip gear makers. The Biden plan for chip gear makers, guys. I don't ask me what the gear is, but the DRAM chips, dynamic random access memory chips. That's one of the things that are a popular um, necessity right now, and the chip demand is high. Okay, let's see what else for Micron, and it's a high net margin on the DRAM. So if they can sell as many as they can on those, anytime they can get that high net margin, that's a good return on investment. So that's also probably good for us. But it's an improving memory market. Uh, what else do we have? A rapidly growing cloud market they're going to use the DRAM chips. So cloud security, cloud, anything with the data, just the data, big data. They need to be able to save that data and protect the data. The DRAM chips are key for that. So Cleveland Cliffs infrastructure, Micron infrastructure, growing memory market, and also it's a catalyst. The catalysts are going to be the DRAM chips. Uh, the IDC forecasts world data will grow from, I don't know what a zettabyte is. We can look at that up, but in 2021 it was 33 zettabytes to 175 zettabytes in 2025. Basically saying the memory sector or industry is going to exponentially grow. So there's going to be a need for those memory chips. And the thing about there's a guy named Ray Kurzweil that says, you know, in the short term, we kind of overestimate our ability to produce something. And so a lot of times we miss those target deadlines in the short term. Say, you know, we're going to have the new release in 3 months. Well, we're pushed back by 2 weeks. But in the long term, they'll say we project to have 175 zettabytes. And if it's really an innovative industry, when you look at it, we'll look 5 years down the road and see that number as being too low because exponentially uh, innovation helps push along progress faster than we can predict because you learn how to do something and you become proficient at doing it. And then there's something else that comes in, another innovation helps you do it even faster. And we can't predict what's going to occur to allow production to improve exponentially. So that's where I see the chip sector still being explosive. And when I say the chips, that's the semiconductors, that's Intel, NVIDIA, AMD. Please write these down. This is right in, all the info is right here for us. It's just, I can't type it out. I'm throwing the names out there for you. Micron, um, Taiwan Semiconductor, that's TSM, Applied Materials, AMAT. Um, I'll come up with a few more, but I had to have a list for you. Okay, what we were also doing, another catalyst, EV adoption, the infrastructure deal. He's I mean, I think he said the Postal Service, President Biden said the Postal Service is going to have um, full electric conversion by 2030 or something like that. I don't have the exact date on that one. But look right here in the middle. Biden's plan includes 80 billion for rail traffic, Amtrak. So what is it? Kansas City Southern, things like that. But that still goes back over to Cleveland Cliffs for me with the steel. You got, if you're laying rail, if we're laying building roads, highways, byways, we need that steel manufacturing, and it's going to be key. And then you're going to have everything's going to be electrically integrated, things like that. We're going to need to keep protect data, and it's going to be the chip sector. The point blank, what do they say? Point blank, period. Okay. EV charging station build out is one of the keys right here. Look right here. If we say, including the charging build out of charging stations, that's one of the big things. Like if you have a Tesla, you're going to have to find a Tesla type charging station. Different people take cross country trips and they'll map out where their charging stations are. If we get better charging stations, better situations, um, that's just going to be a mandatory necessity. So we're looking at about, I don't know, like Blink, BLNK. That's one of the top ones for me. But I'm still researching Blink. And when I do Blink, I go here to go to, what is it? Investors Business Daily. And I type in Blink. And then I'll go. And what happens is what you get, you not only get Blink, but because the charging station is a new sector. And let's see, okay, what are they going to call it? Alternative energy. Like if I go to another website, they will, they might not even have an alternative energy tab or group. And they might have to group this with another. with other stocks that aren't even in the same hemisphere. So there can that can be an inefficient market to where it can be mispriced or misunderstood. Like Tesla has been misunderstood for many years. They considered it a car company, and others are trying to say it's an alternative energy company. Uh, so right here with Blink, just look owns, operates, and provider of electric vehicle charging equipment and networked EV charging services. That's big. It's networked. They have a lot of real estate. So if I go down, Blink's number 10 in the group, heavy accumulation distribution, A plus. And then when I go in there, let's see, I'll click on, let's see if I click on it. Let me go ahead and run. This is called the stock checkup. When I hit it, it will tell me the rankings. So I'll go down and these are the rankings within the alternative energy. Um, it's number 10. What I want to see the composite. We'll go composite rating. Let me go back. Go right here. There we go. We'll go relative strength. Okay. Alto ingredients, Amaris, Clean Energy Fuels Corp. Let's click on Alto. Now this is the sector sentiment. If you have a stock, it might be like well out of your price range. We can dig off in the same sector or group, and there can also be another stock that's similar on the chart, similar positive news, bullish news, but the price falls into our trading area. So okay, this $5.66 for Alto. I don't know a lot about Alto. Composite rating, engaged in production, transportation, storage, sale of ethanol, wet distillers. Graham, that's an alternate energy, but that's not something where we're comfortable with right there. We're still, that's not an EV play. Um, we'll go one more. And then this is just, I'm showing some ideas, guys. And as I record this, I want you guys to be able to look back at this. Let's go right here, Amherst. What is that? And I want to go down to the developing industrial synthetic biology technology to provide alternative. That might be an alternative energy. Here's what I know. Let's go with clean energy because there aren't a lot of charging networks available. That's one of the things about Blink that I think ChargePoint is one. Natural gas. We'll get back to that. But Blink has a good leg in this market. Blink has a really good leg up in this market, in my opinion. Um, so what's the price right now? 41. So inverse head and shoulders. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder. It's broken above the neckline. Blink's on a positive move. Let's pull it up on this chart right here, guys. I'm kind of detouring off of but this is how it works. I mean, you can't just plan just the exact. It's like, hey, let's see what's going on. Okay, this is an inverse head and shoulders. That's a head and shoulders where it's like this isn't a charting class. I'm just saying that that's one of the things I study. This is the head, this little area right in there, left shoulder, right shoulder. I look down where the dip in. That's going to be where I draw my line. Basically, you draw your line across. Go to investopedia.com and let them walk you through the head and shoulders, or go to YouTube. It'll be a lot easier, and I don't want to take up time on the technical analysis. I want to get through the breakdown. But inverse head and shoulders on Blink right now. I'm going to add Blink to my list. Blink will be a buy for an entry. Let's see. On the price level for the entry, anything greater than 44.39, and you try to look for that like after 10 a.m. Central on Monday. You want to let the trend happen. If it breaks above that, it could break out and pull back now. That's not always a guarantee. That's why if you hop in, you set your stop. So let's just take a look at an option on Blink because I think from what I remember, the options weren't crazy. This might be a play for us, especially since they're talking about the infrastructure build out. If we go, I don't want to go just 13 days out. Um, doesn't give us enough time. We want time horizon. When you play options, you want time for expiration. And we're looking for calls. Scroll down at 42. Mm, it's not enough time, guys. We want this. I want to go with the May 21st, and the prices are going to be a little higher, and the options don't look as good as I want. Let's see what the open interest is on Monday for these guys in the May 21s, but also let's go right in here. Let's dig a little deeper. See if any open. I'm looking at open interest right now, and it will update. It was a short week. That's the only thing that a short week open interest probably wasn't just strong. Yeah. Well, okay. Blink is on the watch list for Monday. Anything we're looking for a break above a previous high, and RSI looks good. We're in good shape for that. Let's just take a look at that Monday. Okay, let's get back to the IBD. This is every month, every week, man. They release this on the weekend before it hits the presses when you have your membership, and we can scroll through here. And I play word association because I don't feel like screening, paying for screeners, this and that. Let's go to the next section. So we got the RAM chips, we got the Cleveland Cliff, we have Micron, which is MU. I'm recording this, guys, so but it'd be good if you're writing it down when you're rolling with it. Blink is on the list now. Um, we mentioned Taiwan Semiconductor has some big customers, man. Apple, AMD, and NVIDIA buy products from Taiwan Semiconductors, which is TSM. So, which is crazy is that Apple, AMD, and NVIDIA are chip companies, chip makers. They have their own products, but they're buying their other versions, other items from a competitor. Another thing, Tesla. Volkswagen is a competitor, but Volkswagen is going to Tesla to get EV credits. I don't know the dynamics of it, but Tesla is the king of the hill. But the other legacy automakers are worthy of a strong look. So when Tesla beat on deliveries, so Tesla's bullish momentum from last week that came through, it lifted. What is it? The rising tide lifts all ships. Well, it was lifting a lot of ships, with the exceptions of the weaker EVs that I was shorting last week. I've mentioned that in all the videos, and I've touched on it in Telegram. The companies of Lordstown Motors, Fisker. I was shorting Nikola. And I kind of put my percentage gains and I put the trades in there. So go to the pinned messages, guys, and take a look. But with Tesla, the legacy automakers, we go with Ford, ticker F, GM, ticker GM, um, Volkswagen is getting a lot of love. For Ford and GM were the two, and really Ford has the best, lowest price options, in my opinion, inefficient markets where I think that price is really low compared to the possibilities. Um, let's go a little bit further in here. DoorDash. I haven't traded DoorDash, but it seems like they are always hitting. This is what right here. Taiwan Semiconductor news lifts chip gear stocks. Remember we talked about chip gears about 5-6 minutes ago when I was talking about Micron. Um, Chip gear stock, semiconductor equipment stock surged on Thursday after the world's leading chip foundry, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, announced plans to ramp up factory investments. Several chip gear stocks broke out on the news. Bam. Okay, Intel popped, INTC. Now we go a little bit further, like what I was saying. The company is currently facing a large backlog of chip orders. Okay, demand is high, supply is low. They're having to ramp it up because there's the glut in the chip sector has affected not only the computer sector, networking sectors, but it's also affected the automotive industry. Ford has had to stop production of the F-150. Tesla even had to stop production on their certain models during this process because everyone needs these chips. So what happens is the company is currently facing a large backlog of chip orders from semiconductor companies. Fabless, excuse me. Uh, its customers include Apple, AMD, Nvidia. Three top semiconductor equipment stocks broke out of bases. Base is like a horizontal consolidation where price isn't just going crazy on the chart. It's just like, man, this is really not doing anything. You want to enter when the stock is in a base building process. You can look that up, guys. Look up a base. Uh, Mo put a book in the Telegram group. It's Bill O'Neill's How to Make Money in Stocks, and it's an amazing book. It just takes time to study and read and where all this lines up. And download that book. That needs to be part of the homework. Download this. I put the free link to this particular Investor Business Daily issue. Mo put last week's in there. We got to comb through that every day. I say every day, it, it, within your free time, but make free time. Um, we go right here, the top three semiconductor stocks. Uh, Integris, I'm not too familiar with that, but I think I put it on the list because it kind of caught my attention. Clack and Lamb Research. One more thing. Clubhouse, I got that. ATKR. Let's go down a little further. That popped up on my screen when I was looking at something in the top stocks. I think the IBD Big Cap 20 stocks. And I'll go right here. Let's just go back to the beginning. And I'm going to put ATKR. I want to run that through the ringer. And this is basically how you just kind of do the due diligence. ATKR at core. Go down a little bit. I can already see this on the chart. We have a bullish chart from left to right. The overall trend, that's the daily trend. This overall trend is bullish. That means it's not going down and we're trying to catch the bottom. Say, hey, if I buy it when it's down here, I might get it at the low. Nah, I like a trending stock and catching it on a pullback, not a sell-off, not like a heavy correction. 98 rating. Micron was 90. No, Cleveland Cliffs was 90. X was 71. Adcore manufactures electrical and mechanical products for the non-residential construction and industrial markets. Okay. That's one of the things I keep noticing. Housing, like the builders and the construction companies, Deere, Home Depot, I keep seeing their names pop up and trending up, popping. As COVID opens up, these construction projects are re-emerging, but the prices are higher. Lumber is skyrocketed, things like that. So um, this is one to keep an eye on. We're looking in the building construction area right now in that group. And ATKR is number 2, B plus. This is worth taking a look at. And then builder is another possibility. So we can take a look at ATKR right quick. Yeah, that's a winner. I don't even have to look all the way in there. Had a reversal right here. Perfect reversal. Coming up to resistance. So we might get a little pullback. Trading range. My entry's right here above. 73.39, 73.90, excuse me. Anything above 73.90 is going to be my entry. You have to, that's one of the things you guys have to study up on what your entries are. My entries are, I look on the bullish chart, on the daily chart. If I get the setup, I want to look for when price breaks above a previous high. Now, what we're going to run into, going to be resistance at, what's the high right here? 74.85. Okay, we're going to build, I'm going to build a little segment right there. Okay, what's the high? 74.85. And the high right there, 75.60. So we go 74.85 to 75.60. And I'm gonna edit that real quick. 74.85, 75.60. And I color that chart so I can know it's a visual on my chart. When I look in there, if I go to the 4-hour chart, I can dig in a little bit deeper, get a little granular. And I know when we get up here that we're going to have some resistance and a possible sell-off. So I'm not trying to just go long once it breaks this. I mean, I could scalp it, but I want to. It's going to activate my. Let's set my 73.90. I create that alert at or above 73.90. Gives me an alert. Keep an eye on ATKR. Okay, but we also, let's see what BLD looks like, because that was number one in that group. So ATKR is on the list. So I hope if you're watching the video, if you're writing this down, it's all this is in you. It's in our hands. So it's up to us to decide. Okay, I'm gonna invest in this from long term, short term. Uh, if you don't have a trading plan, there's no reason to trade an option. You buy the stock, and decide how long you plan to keep it. If you just hop into an option and you don't have a trading plan, you're giving money away. It's gonna be luck. Okay, we have an inverse head and shoulders right now, guys. Beautiful inverse head and shoulders. This is a winner. I mean, I wasn't even worried about the price, but look, yes, sir. Builder makes the list, guys. So let me write this down. CLF, MU, BLNK, ATKR, Build a Bear, and 73.90 for ATKR. All right, inverse head and shoulders. This isn't a charting class, but I can't just ignore it. That's the inverse is a bullish play. Look that up. Go to YouTube, guys. Study it. Left shoulder for me is right in here. Right shoulder is in this little area right here. So left shoulder, when I see the high point of that, I'll draw a trend line from the high point of the left shoulder to the high point of the right shoulder. It could be over to this or to here. But I'm going to draw it right now in the traditional fashion. So it's already broken out, but it broke out and it's retesting this area. So our entry, and if you're not familiar with technical analysis, it's not going to just click right now. So don't try to understand it all, or you can, but it's up to you. You got to get in there and just you go to YouTube and do not stop studying. Do not stop studying. And it's this the class every week gives you all the tools, but things like the Telegram group, the videos that I put in there, That's supplemental information to just kind of spur you on and catalyze your studying and understanding. Uh, it's in our hands. So the entry 4806 on previous high. That I like. Let me see what these options look like that. So what I'm saying is like is test it, push up, pull back, sell off. So when we're watching this, we can't we can't tell it's gonna be a head and shoulders yet. All we see is right here. This might be a bull flag. Boom, gets up there, sells off. Oh, it's gonna come down here. Is it gonna break down to push through support? Get over there. Oh no, it found support. Buyers came back in strong. All right, are we gonna break above a previous high? It kind of stabilized, pulled back a little bit, but it didn't come back down this low. So it has some strength. Had buyers. Up, gets up here, kind of stalls. Next day, breaks out, pushes up, fails a little bit. It's trying to break above the new highs. We're trying to get above that or this. You get above these areas, this thing may start to stair step up because it's not all just a straight parabolic run. It's going to be and if I back out, you see the pullback. What you want to see are higher lows. This is a high, that's a low, that's a high, that's a low, on the candle. So up there, that's a new high, that's a low, but it's a higher low than these previous lows. That's something to study. You want higher lows, that means that's strongly bullish. Okay, let's go to the options on Builder. Builders First Source Inc. Let's just check April options. A lot of money in that. And the prices are not crazy. But we don't want to just go with April. We need time. We want 48 days to expiration to May 21. This might not be that, oh boy. And I'm not tripping on the open interest right now. We'll see what the open interest is Monday. But that delta, so okay, here's a possibility. All right, these two. These are the possibles. May 21st, $45 call. May 21st, $50 call. For me, when I get in, if let's say I get in and I pay $4.60, which will be $460, I hop in and I do it, and let's say I bought it. One contract represents 100 shares. I'll immediately set a stop loss. I might set it for 30%. So 30% of the option price, I'll risk. I'll try to set it like, let's say I paid 460, 4.60 minus 30%. That's subtract $1.38. So my stop would be $3.22 or $3.20. I would set it like that, 3.20. And I'm probably not showing, guys, I'm sorry about that. Not showing this. I'll go back to the screen. I know we missed a lot of the screen, but look, I set my stop. I'm talking it out. Set the stop, 3.20. Good till canceled. That means until I do it. But when you get in, you want to set a stop loss, what you want to risk, how much you're risking on this play. This head and shoulders, these are higher lows, new high, high. But if the lows were coming back down here, that would be scary. But then it runs up and it pulls back, and it's staying above the previous major low. That's a bullish move. We have a bullish sentiment going with builders. So let's go ahead and focus on builders, man. I like that. Also, of course, I like the previous one that we did. Let's see right here. builders is just is easy, easy. The trend line goes, I mean, I can draw it from right here and I'll find a second point and I'll expand it out. And it encompasses more. Like I could have done it down here, but that can be just an outlier candle. I wanted to do it to this one or that one, and it kind of encompasses the majority of the price action. And I see we're pushing above it. Now we're converging a little bit. That head and shoulders, we break above these levels, our entries there. So Builder is a winner. ATKR is also a winner too. Uh, let's see the option again. I didn't like those options on ATKR at core. Yeah, the open interest was really bad. So Builder takes the BLDR takes the lead over that. This all falls under the infrastructure as well, but this is more under the home builders and construction play that I was looking at. Okay, let's go back. Let's get out of this, guys, and let me put it back on something for you. Now, I apologize for this for the delay in the screen catch up. Um, almost done, and I'll be able to. If I can lower this back down, guys. There we go. All right. The home builders. I just was writing that down. They kept popping up on my screen. Um, the chip sector, ENTG was one that caught my attention. Uh, keep an eye right down cloud computing. The cloud is going to be big because data, big data is the key to the future. Everybody needs our data, everyone's data. What they're trying to get data. Google, Facebook, Microsoft. Everybody's trying to get customer data to see what we're spending, see what the Google will put an ad within every Gmail that we get. But how are you protecting that data? What does your data hygiene look like? That was Amy Webb says that. What's the data hygiene to where how are you protecting what you're putting in the cloud? Fortinet is one of the data protectors, but basically is data security is what you search for, and then you start digging for that. Um, that is going to be pretty much it on how I do the breakdown on IBD. I'm gonna stop the video. I'm gonna post this, and then it'll be in the Telegram, guys. It's gonna be on a YouTube, but it'll be an unlisted YouTube link, so it'll just be for anyone in this stock spring trading course. So, all right.